back. Dr. Jacques Speech of Soho MD here at the Bullpen at the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference, and I have Michael Hill here. Hi, Michael.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did you get here?
Yeah, so actually I've been involved with Christian and the Bullpen for some time, from the very beginning. It's a long story that I'll make very brief. Long story at Medtronic, 27 years,
Wow.
scientist, and all the way up through the ranks. The last 3 years I was at corporate as the Vice President of Science and Technology and Clinical Operations. And then basically decided that I was going to go and turn and share knowledge. So work with other people. So today now I teach at Case Western Reserve University, both an undergraduate and an MBA course, and work with the Vail Institute of Entrepreneurship. And then I also have a little LLC, Science Innovations, that I do with consulting work for small companies, trying to share knowledge, accelerate innovation, and inform decisions better.
In terms of the students that you're working with, what have you found what are the biggest nuggets that you pass on? Like what are the little perspectives based on all your experience in terms of what succeeds and what doesn't succeed? Yeah. What are you able to help share with them that helps them kind of, move forward?
No, appreciate that. One of the things that I do is we went through this exercise at one point in my career where we tried to boil ourselves down to 3 words. And those 3 words that describe me are passion, curiosity, and perseverance. And I think those are very important because if someone wants to be an innovator or wants to be an entrepreneur, you have to have some of those qualities in order to be successful in doing that. And of course, also I tell them all the time, innovation is a team sport. No one is innovative successfully by themselves. So it is a team sport and you have to do it together.
That's amazing. And you find that the students, they're receptive to this, they're getting it.
Oh yeah, I mean these students are, they are bright minds and very passionate, very exciting. I mean, the Vail Snyder Fellows that I have right now that are coming in this spring semester, there's 12 of them. They were selected from a very specific cohort, and they're diverse. They're diverse in their backgrounds and their cultures and their languages. 2 of them have already started businesses.
Wow.
And they're juniors and seniors in college. So they're on the right track.
That's amazing. And from the years that you had at Medtronic, what do you feel, what were the biggest lessons or principles for you that stood out in terms of what helped you be so successful for so long at such a great organization?
Yeah, one of the things that I tell the students as well as other people that I consult with is, it's really about critical thinking and discipline. And I know that sounds so easy to say, but it truly is important. I mean, you need to using critical thinking, you need to inform your decisions well. Everybody's pressed to make decisions. You have to make your decisions in a timely, quick way, get it over with, and make decisions. But you want to make the best decisions. I mean, people don't wake up every day and say, oh, today I'm going to make a lot of bad decisions.
Exactly.
But people still have to make decisions. And so in order to make the decision the best, you need to have the right knowledge, share knowledge, and inform the decision well, and then use critical thinking, and that will help you make a more successful goal or meet that successful goal. It doesn't mean you're going to be guaranteed to do that, but it will improve your chances or probability that you'll be successful.
So like a framework of how to think about the process of decision making that helps increase your probability of making a good decision. And then in terms of your consulting role, how does that differ from what you're doing at the school? Is it similar or is it totally?
So with the consulting, it actually ranges everywhere from early strategic thinking with small businesses that are just really getting started and making a transition, say, from academia or founder into the next stage. It's also helping them to connect, so either on the technical side or on the finance side. A lot of the really good founders that have a science background don't understand even how to build a business model.
Yeah.
And so how do you start setting that up? How do you start thinking of the business? Taking an idea to scale takes a lot of work. And so how do you start to process that and go through that process? And so I like to work with a very early stage, very small companies, and help them think about the strategy and the plan that they have to do. And the other one is actually executive leadership. I get the privilege now to work with some of the best and brightest minds, and I get to choose those now. And so, finding people who are really willing to learn and pivot and grow and learn, and that's great. And so helping grow these new executive leaders for the future is a lot of fun.
That's amazing. And you're sitting both on the board and directly consulting to the executives, or?
It's the whole gamut.
The whole
so
gamut.
whether it's me actually doing an investment myself, because I do some investing as well, whether it's getting an equity or whether it's a paid consultant, also, so it depends. And I've worked with companies literally now for 4 years. There's a couple that have worked only for 6 or 18 months. So it's what they need, and I'm there to be of service to them.
And what criteria do you use for the investments that you're making? Like, what are you looking for?
That's a good one. It's one of those things where you trust. It's I trust in people, and so I'm more of the team person kind of person. I'm an engineer that likes people, and so for me, it's really important that I trust the people.
Totally.
I think that the team, if you've got a great team, they can almost accomplish anything if they really set their mind to it and are given and enabled with the right resources to do it. And so that's very important to me. So the first and foremost to me to make a decision if I'm going to invest my own money is team.
Yeah, people first.
Yeah.
And then in terms of what you're working on now, what excites you in terms of the current initiatives?
Yeah. So I spent my whole career in the cardiac space and was very helpful in bringing forward many life-saving, wonderful therapies like transvascular valves, cardiac resynchronization therapy, things like that. To me now, today, the neuro space and the mental health space will see the same strides over the next 30 years that we saw in the cardiac space over the past 30 years. So for me, a lot of the neurological spaces, interfaces with either the brain or the spinal cord to interface human and technology is really, I think, critical for us to move this forward. Regenerative medicine is another one. I think that that's right on the brink of actually breaking down a lot of barriers for some of the problems that we're having today with tissue and organ damage. And so I think regenerative medicine is really on the verge. So those two areas, along with, of course, as everyone else, some of the digital.
Yeah.
And how do we use that to actually help make, and again, inform better decision making.
And in terms of the bullpen, so you've been a supporter for a while. With the bullpen, what's your ask for the community?
Yeah, I think that the ask that I have is, I'm passionate, like Christian is, about making sure that we share knowledge amongst everyone. And so, I want to be of service as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, where I am in my career now, I get the opportunity to give back. And so if there's places where you see that, my skill sets or my long-term career at Medtronic or some of the large strategics could be helpful, then, call on me, let me know, right? And I'm very helpful in trying to give back and help share information. And if I don't know someone, I have an extensive network of people. And so I probably know somebody that will be able to help if I can't. And so my only ask is just, continue that passion of sharing knowledge and doing it openly, because if we openly share information, we're going to be successful in the long run. Yeah. So that's very important.
I think that's very well said. So Michael Hill, if you want to connect with him, learn more information, you can go to bullpen.ventures, and you can do it there. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome.